We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a
Hello, my crafty friends, and happy holidays. My name is Robyn Pitts with Sir Chauncey Rocco Creative Designs. Welcome back to day 9 of the 12 Days of Christmas Craft series. For today's project, I created this fun embellishment book box. This was inspired by Scrap the World. She had done this project several months ago, and I had been dying to try it. This was a really fun and easy project to create. If you stay tuned after the project share, I do have a tutorial to share with you. I've also included Tamika's original tutorial in the description box. This embellishment book box measures 5 by 7 inches and it has a 2.5 inch spine. This is a cover, and I've just used some really fun and festive paper. This is by the North Pole Gazette by Recollection. The primary colors are black, red, and white. In the back, I've got this red glitter snowflake layered with a white snowflake, and then just a variety of different papers layered from music notes to floral prints. And then I've die cut out a little shape in the background and then took one of the cut aparts that has red glitter detail on it, and it says Merry and Bright. On the side, I just used a very simple black and white gingham ribbon. On the inside, I've filled this with some fun embellishments. Now, I did not make the embellishments that you see here. I will be making personalized embellishments to include in this box. However, I just wanted to show you what it looks like when it's filled up with goodies. This has 3 different pockets. In the lower pocket here, I've simply filled it with some vintage Christmas tags. And there's more space here that you could actually fill up. In the second pocket, I've included this fun snowflake ornament. And in the third pocket, I've included hot chocolate. And to go with the hot chocolate, I've included this chocolate peppermint candy cane stick. On the right side, you have this box, which measures 4 by 6. And it was very simple to put together. It has this pretty die-cut shape and also acetate there. And here I've just filled it with note cards, but it's a fairly sizable box for you to fill with fun goodies. I just love how this turned out, and it's so simple to create. And you know, you could easily modify this to make it larger. So this is 5 by 7, you could do a 6 by 9. Because this is going to a crafter, I could include in additional embellishments like bows, rosettes, and other fun goodies. Or if it was going to a person who is not a crafter, you could fill it up with a bunch of things from candy to cards to stationery. This has a lot of flexibility. This concludes my review of my embellishment book box. Hopefully I've inspired you with some fun and creative ideas. If you like this video, please take a moment to give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.
We wish you a
I have gathered all of the materials that we need in order to make our embellishment book box. First, we'll need 2 pieces that measure 5 by 7 inches, and the spine will be 2¼ inches by 7. To wrap our covers, I have gathered 2 pieces of paper that are 110-pound cardstock, and they're just 8.5 by 11. Now, in order to cover our base, we will need a piece that's long enough. So what we're going to do is join 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11 sheets to make one long piece. Okay, I've already gone through and put in score tape. Let me just take that off. And then that way we can easily line up this paper. Now that we have our 2 pieces of paper attached, let's go ahead and lay down our chipboard pieces. And I'm going to start with a piece that's 2¼ inches by 7. What you want to do is line that so that the center of this spine is right in the middle of where these two pieces of paper are joined. And then we're going to put down our front and back cover pieces. You want to make sure that you have roughly about 1/8 inch space in between the spine and the front cover. So that's about the width of a chipboard piece, just like so. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the score tape from the spine. Now, I also like to go back in and use liquid adhesive, because not only does that give us a stronger hold, it also gives us a little wiggle room, because sometimes this score tape is not very forgiving. And once you put it down, there really is no wiggle room. So I'm just using a little bit of my Art Institute art glitter glue. And I'm just going to lay that right in the middle of the spine. I'm going to take off the score tape on the rest of my pieces and attach them as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will be right back. Okay, I've taken the score tape off. I'm going to use my bone folder to burnish this as much as possible, and then I'm going to flip it around and do the same thing. Make sure that that glue is evenly spread out. Now what you want to do is make sure that there is a 1-inch spine all around. So you can just go through and cut out the excess paper on either side. So I'm going to get my cutting board. See, we have about 1 inch here, which is just enough to fold over. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. Here we go. So we have our 1-inch spine on the top, the bottom, and the sides. Now what you want to do is help train the paper. So you're going to take your bone folder and create a score line along the edge of the chipboard. You're going to do that to all of the sides. This will help the paper bend around the chipboard and hopefully prevent breaking. Okay. Then what you want to do is grab a pair of scissors, and we want to miter the edges on all 4 corners. By mitering the edges, it helps reduce the bulk to the cover. So I'm just going to turn this chipboard around. Now, I typically leave about a 1/8 inch space between the edge of the chipboard and where I'm cutting. So you can either measure it out. I'm just going to eyeball it like so. Okay. I'm going to do that for all 4 sides. Then what you want to do is gently lift the paper up and kind of rock it up and rock it down. This will help get a little bend in the paper, especially since we're using a heavy 110-pound cardstock. The paper is going to be a little stiff. Again, you want to take your bone folder and you want to help it along. Just like so. Okay, do the same thing on this side. Just go back and forth as often as you need, just to help break down some of the fibers so that it's easier to fold. And then you want to put score tape all around the perimeter of the chipboard pieces. Put more tape on this side. And then your last side on the bottom. Okay. So you just want to burnish the edges as much as possible. Okay, so let's go ahead and peel off the tape. Okay, I'm going to put some extra glue right down here. And I'm going to bend this paper down and glue it. Let's take off this score tape on the bottom. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing on the top. Before we glue these pieces down, what you want to do is, I don't know if you could see right here on the bottom, pardon all the glue on my fingers, but you have this little edge here. What you want to do is just kind of take your finger and poke it in, just like so, so you don't get those sharp little edges when you bend the paper over. So just bend it in, and then fold your flap down. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to use your bone folder to create a score line right here where the space is. This is going to help you bend your book into so that you can close the spine. Okay, you want to do it nice and slowly. Okay, and there you have your little book. Now we have to cut a piece to cover the inside liner. So what I've done is, again, taken 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11 cord stock, and I've taped them together. And I've also cut them down to size. So we know that the height is going to be 7 inches, and the length from top to bottom is 12.5 inches. So I created about a 1/8 inch border, and I've cut it at 6 7/8 by 12 3/8 to create this piece. And you'll notice when I put this here, it comes right to the edges, and there's about a 1/8 inch border. So, okay, I've put score tape on the back of this piece. I'm going to take this off and then put our piece down like so, and then we will be ready to start adding our contents on the inside of the book box. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to line these pieces up like so. Make sure that I have an even border on the top. Okay, I'm just going to use my bone folder to make sure everything is glued down. Next, you want to cut out the decorative paper that will line the inside covers. And we need to do this before we put on our accordion folds on the left side and our box on the right side. You can make the border whatever size you want. For this project, I've decided to make a 1/4 inch border. So if the page measures 5 by 7, this measures 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So let's go ahead and glue this down. By the way, the paper collection that I'm using is the North Pole Gazette. I forgot to mention that. The spine measures 2 1/4 by 7, so this piece is 2 inches by 6 3/4. Okay, that's looking good. And then you have your final piece, which measures 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. Now we want to gather the materials to make our accordion pocket. You will need 3 pieces of paper, one that measures 6 by 7 inches. You'll need another piece that measures 6 by 5 inches, and then 6 by 3 inches. And what we're going to do is score on the 6-inch side at a 1/2 inch and 1 inch on 3 sides. So I'm going to grab my scoreboard. So this is the first piece, 6 by 7. We're going to score at a 1/2 inch, 1 inch, half an inch, 1 inch, and then 1/2 inch and 1 inch. And you want to do that for the remaining pieces. Now that we have our pieces scored, what we need to do is cut the bottom of the page. So this is going to be a little difficult to see on black paper, but on the bottom you have 2 score lines. What we want to do is, for this first score line area here, we don't want to cut that off, but we do want to cut it in half. Okay, so you want to cut this in half. I'm just going to use this pen. You want to cut this in half, and then you want to cut off the 4 boxes on the bottom. And I'm just using this glitter pen to show you. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes on either side. And then you want to cut this lower panel in half, and you want to do that for all 3 pieces of paper. Okay, so we're going to cut this score mark in half. And then we're going to cut off these 4 boxes. We're going to cut up right up to the score line. So this is what your piece will look like. Now that we've cut out the 4 corners, what we want to do is miter this piece. So what you want to do is turn your paper aside, get your ruler, and right where this little corner is, you want to measure it from the corner to the outside edge, and then you want to cut just a sliver. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Measure it from the corner to the edge and just draw a line and then cut. And then you'll also do the same thing on this bottom flap right here. Just measure from the corner to the edge, and you want to do it to the other side. From this corner to the edge. And so you can see here, hopefully you can see here where I've actually created these pencil marks. So I'm just going to go in with my scissors and cut these right now. This is the first cut. Okay, and then you want to do the same thing on the top part. Okay, and you're going to repeat that on all 3 pieces of paper. So now we want to begin creating the accordion fold. So what you want to do is, on the bottom, fold this whole piece back. I'm going to burnish it well. And then where we cut that little half sliver, you want to fold that forward. So it'll look like this. And then you want to repeat this on both sides. You want to fold this flat back. and then fold the other piece up, just like so. And your piece should look like this. I'm going to go ahead and repeat this to the other two pieces, and then I'll be right back. I have our 3 pockets. They're going to look just like that. Now that you have your pockets cut out, you want to go ahead and cut mats for them. I just used paper that I had left over from another project. The first pocket here measures 4 by 6. And I am leaving a 1/4 inch border all around, but since this pocket will be covered by 2 other pockets, I've only cut it to about 4 inches. There's really no need to cover this bottom part. This second piece measures 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. That's going to go right on top there. And then this last piece is 3 3/4 wide by 1 3/4. And it's going to look just like that. So let's go ahead and glue these mats down. So I've attached my mats to each of the pieces. What we need to do now is put our score tape on, and I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. For this, I'm using a 1/4 inch score tape, and I'm just going to put score tape on the outside pieces right here, and then this piece right here, this piece right here. And you want to put the score tape as close to the edge as you can. There. And then on this little tiny piece right there. And then you want to burnish these. Take off your score tape. Okay, so you want to grab the pocket that it's going to be glued to. And you want to make sure you pull in all of your edges like so. And I'm going to line this up at the very bottom of this pocket right here, this edge. Just like so. So I've already glued on one pocket. I'm going to continue gluing on the rest of them. So this piece will be glued right here on the base, just like so. So we've got our 3 pockets. Okay, let's glue down our back panel, and you want to center it. We are rocking and rolling. I think that looks so cute. I love that paper. You've got your 3 pockets ready to be stuffed. Now all we have to do is the box. Now we're going to make the box that goes on the right side. For that, you need 2 sheets of paper. One measures 6 by 8, which is the base. The other is 6 1/8 by 8 1/8. What you want to do is get your scoreboard, and you want to score 1 inch on all 4 sides for both pieces. So score for 1 inch. Now you want to get your scissors, and you want to cut right up to the score line. Just cut a slit here and here and here and here. I know that may be a little difficult to see on the black paper. Okay. You want to burnish your score lines. These little tabs that we created are going to fold in just like so to create the box. If you want to add decorative paper to the inside of this, this measures 4 by 6, so I would do a mat at 3 3/4 by 5 4/4. So let's go do that now. So I've cut a piece that's 4 by 6 that's going to go on the inside of my little box. And I'm also going to decorate the spines. This is 1 inch, so I'd make the spine matting 3/4. So let's go ahead and glue this in. Actually, before we glue this in, let's make our box. So we want to score, fold along all of these score lines, and these tips just go in like this, just to make the box. Very simple. So you want to put glue right on these outside tabs. And just hold that for a few seconds. This is super easy to make. Okay, and you want to do the same thing to the other side. Then you can go ahead and glue in your liner. Okay, drop that in just like so. This is going to go right here. Now let's work on the top part of the box. I just cut the mat for the top of the box. Keep in mind this is 1/8 inch larger than the mat that we used in the bottom of the box. So this measures 3 7/8 by 5 7/8. So what we want to do is put this here on the front, and I'm getting one of my decorative dies. Let's see which one we're going to use. That one's too big. Okay, this one looks good. This one is a good size. We're going to use this one right here. Okay. We want to make sure that this is centered. I'm going to put washi tape here and then on the paper so it doesn't move. Okay, I just cut out my topper like so, and I have these pieces left over that I could use in another project. Now I'm going to take some clear plastic from Recollections, and I've already cut it down to the size of my topper. So what we're going to do is glue the topper on the back of this panel here. So it'll be like this. And then this will be on the top, just like so. Okay. Get my score tape. Burnish down these edges here. And then I'm just going to peel this off. And attach my acetate as best I can. That fits perfectly. And then I'm going to put more score tape to adhere this to the front panel. Now we need to align this topper piece. We've got the glue on the outside. Perfect. And we're going to make our box the same way we made the bottom box. We're going to cut up to the score line. I'm going to fold these lines in. And then we're going to glue these panels together just like so. Okay. Just want to hold this for a few seconds. Again, make sure that your edges are lined up perfectly. I want to fold in these tabs as well. Put a little glue here. Okay, and our box is done. All we need to do is put the decorative edges on the side. And this is going to fit on just like so. It looks so pretty, doesn't it? So I have cut out some decorative strips for the side, which I'm going to glue down. And I just took the coordinating paper that's on the inside liner. Now we want to glue our box in, and you want to try to line it up so that it's the same height as the accordion pocket on the left. I'm just going to take this top off. Okay, that looks about even. Let me get my glue gun. Okay, that should be more than enough. And we want to, I think, put this right here. Okay. Take your bone folder and make sure there's a nice adhesion. And our embellishment book is complete. All we need to do now is finish the cover. I'm going to put a ribbon closure on here. And then I'm going to fill it with some embellishments. We're not going to do the embellishments in this video, but I am going to decorate the cover and put the ribbon on just so you can see it completed. This concludes my review of my fun embellishment book box. Hopefully I've inspired you with some fun and creative ideas. If you like this video, please take a moment to give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you and your family have a very, very happy holiday. Bye for now.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas